Hi and welcome to my channel. My name is Memo and I mainly draw things for a living. The Artist Starter Plan is a calendar I created to help you start learning how to draw if you're a complete beginner or get back into drawing if you haven't done it for a while. The plan goes from drawing simple lines and shapes in the first week, moving on to portrait, gesture, clothing, and full characters by the end of the 31 days. I recorded this as a series of live streams on Instagram, so unfortunately the format is portrait and there's some level of chit-chat throughout the videos. I hope you can still enjoy it, download the calendar for free, and start your own practice. It doesn't need to be the first day of the month to start, just pick day one and build up from there. Let's get started! I hope that you can hear me okay. Just let me know if you can't in the comments, because I am currently at the airport and so I'm not sure whether there's too much noise. Hello! I am waiting for my flight, which is actually delayed a little bit. Today is day 18 of the Artist Starter Plan and today we are drawing long hair. So I wanted to approach long hair and show you guys a few different types of hair maybe. So maybe straight hair, wavy hair, curly hair, and then maybe braids or something. So yeah, let's get going. Yesterday someone said if I could draw curly hair, so that's what I'm gonna start with. So curly hair, there's of course there's different types of curls. I'm gonna go with tight coils. So usually when I draw tight coils, I try and draw them away from the face a little bit, just because I feel like it's okay. I feel like it's a little bit easier to draw them that way. Sorry, it's just it keeps changing. There you go. Maybe this is better. So I usually draw them like this. So I try and draw them away from the face, and maybe using a hairband or something like that. Either a hairband or maybe they're coiled into puffs or something. And with really tightly coiled hair, you for example, if I were drawing puffs like this, you want to draw the puffs, of course, in a way that looks symmetrical. So if one is here, the other one is going to be here behind the face, like this. Hiya. There you go. And in the sketch, it's not super obvious, but oh, good. But basically, the way that I do it is that I draw a few strands of hair super curly. And then I would normally add little bit of curls that come out of the shape, like this, and maybe even like this. It depends, how long the hair would be, like this. So yeah, I mean, this is just the sketchy version. If you were drawing it in color, I'm just gonna do it real quick. So in color, it would be something like this. So I'm just gonna quickly do the main shape. So as usual, I do the shape and then just fill in, because it's a little bit quicker. There you go. And then in the live that I did yesterday, so I like to have this little hair, kind of baby hair, coming out of the main shape a little bit. So I would make the brush a little bit smaller and then kind of make draw a few little bits of hair just kind of coming out like this. And also from the puffs, as I was saying before, you know, like you can make them come out like this. And I feel like this gives the idea that like they're really, really curly because they're like super coily. And then I add another layer and just add some of those details like this in black. Just to define the shape a little bit more. And this one goes on overlay or multiply. And as you can see it now, I mean, it's very dark, so I don't know if you can see it properly. But yeah, I mean, that's the basics of how I would color it. And then, of course, I would add a few layers with overlay and multiply just to give these kind of texture a little bit more color variation like I did yesterday. Let's move on to another long hairstyle that I really like is the wavy hairstyle. Say that like the hairstyle is swept back. That's something that I usually do, and you can do it easily by doing this little. So like say that you draw your forehead, like standing here, and then you can put the parting in the middle or to the side, like for example to the side like this. And this is, you know, the way, for example, the way that Rapunzel has her hair, that like it goes back a little bit and then it comes down like this. And this is a nice way of having your hair sort of moving to the back a little bit before it comes down. And you can do the same on the opposite side as well. And this is for wavy hair. So you have to consider the front part of the hair, like we said yesterday in during the live. And then you just like go with the hair a little bit on top of the skull because you want to have the hair being a little bit fluffy. And then in the front, like I usually like to have like a little bit of the hair coming to the front like this. And yeah, I mean, I really like to do these kind of lines at the end of the shape of the wave. I think it gives a little bit more texture and variety to the hair. And there you go. So this would be the sketch, and then I'm gonna just turn it down a little bit, create. I'm gonna go with like reddish hair. There you go. Usually I would put on two different layers, the front with the front bang and the back of the hair, but right now I'm just gonna do everything on one layer. Just gonna quickly create the shape. And then just fill in the shape with the color that you prefer. Unfortunately, when you use this brush, which is called the ink brush, and it's one of Procreate's native brushes, it kind of creates this bit in between the line that you drew and the filled area, because I think it's because the brush has a rough texture on the side, and so it doesn't fill in perfectly, which is annoying because then you have to kind of go over it again. But yeah, I mean, you just have to do that. There you go. And on the other side as well. Again, usually I would just put this side of the hair behind the layer where I put the face, so I don't have to be careful about basically like not coloring in front of the face. But again, like right now it's okay. It's like it's not like a full drawing, so it's okay. It's not important. Okay, so now that I have the full shape, again I will create some detail by going over some of the areas here to give more detail to the hair. Like this. And like this here as well. And again, I really like to give these it's kind of small lines at the end. And there you go. Same thing on this side. Okay, and then I'm gonna turn this into overlay and put this back up. Thank you. Okay, and when I have these clippy mask, I will add also to the main shape hair sort of like coming out to the side, as I was doing yesterday with the short hair, just to add a little bit of messiness. And as I was saying yesterday, by the way, I do have an actual full course on Skillshare about drawing hair, which I did a few years back. It's done on Photoshop, I think. So if you want to go more in depth about it and you have a Skillshare membership, you can take that one. Like, you can look it up on my page. There's a link that links to my teacher profile on Skillshare, and you can find the class there. Or you can take my link and you can get a month of free Skillshare Premium, and then you can take the class and many other classes. There's lots of classes. Okay. What else? I've got time. Do I have time? Okay, I've got time to do one more haircut before my flight. So I'm gonna go for a braid. So the way that I do braids is that Thank you. So the way that I do braids is that, like, it's similar to the way that I've done the other one. So I always start with a sketch, of course, and the way that, like, you can divide the front area of the face and then the back. So even if I've got a braid, basically, I would still use probably a fringe or some type of bangs, like front bangs, because I feel like
I don't know. I feel like not using bangs, like using bangs is kind of like a nice way of covering up some of the face, basically. So like you can either have bangs coming down like this, right? Or you can have a fringe, like a proper fringe like this, which we did yesterday in the short hair as well. Or you can have another fringe like the one sort of like coming back on the forehead and then going, and then coming down to the side. I'm gonna go for maybe like a central parting, but with a short fringe. I don't know, or maybe like a short fringe, like Elsa, not Elsa, sorry, like Anna from Frozen or something like that. There you go. And even with short fringes, wet hair. Okay, I'll try. I mean, I'm just gonna do this first, and if I have time, I'll try and draw the wet hair as well. So even with short fringes, I like to give like a little bit of volume and bits of hair sort of like coming out. And then, I mean, you have your middle parting for the two braids. And the middle parting sort of like, again, going a little bit over the position of the skull. And then the braid sort of like coming in the front here, right? So the way that I do braid is that like you do one part of the braid coming down in the middle, and then on the other side coming down to the other side, and then again same thing. So like you just kind of like take it from the middle of the of the curve that you have before, and then on the other side, and then on the other side, and then on the other side, etc. So this is pretty much how I do braids. And then I just have bits of hair sort of like coming out of it to make it a little bit more messy, like before. And then, at the end you can have a little hairband, or just have the braid sort of like coming to a point. There you go. So I'm not gonna color this one so that I can have the time to actually do or attempt to do wet hair. So for wet hair, I feel like the easier thing would be to have maybe, for example, like if you had the hair literally like coming to the back. So you have the hair going back to the head, and like it's almost like level to the area where the skull ends, because of course it's wet, so it doesn't have much fluffiness, and then it just kind of comes down straight, and maybe have a little bit of, so like it comes down straight on the shoulders, and maybe it has like a little wave just at the end. But mostly it comes down straight, because again it's wet. So like you want to make it go as close. You want to make it go as close to the head as possible, and to the neck as possible, to show that it's like, basically it doesn't have much volume, pretty much. And I mean, it would only have like a little bit of wave at the end if it's actually wavy hair. If it's straight hair, of course, it's going to be straight all the way. And the way that I would color this, no worries. The way that I would color this is that if I do, I'm gonna go with like deep blue as a color. I'm just gonna quickly do the shape thing. Nice. Thank you for the nice to know that you're from Cordoba. I think I've actually been, but a few years ago. I did an interrail through Spain, and I think we actually passed through there as well. Can I draw? Oh, that's nice. Thank you. No worries. I'm happy to share my art. Someone asked, can you draw on a Samsung tablet? And the answer is, well, I suppose I could, but I don't know if I can because I literally don't have a Samsung tablet. So the answer is no, I can't draw on a Samsung tablet because I don't own one. I've never actually drawn on a Samsung tablet either. So I don't have any experience with that hardware or software. So I'm just going to quickly render this to show you guys how I would color wet hair. So remember, when you have wet hair, of course the color of the hair gets darker than it would be. So for example, if you have a character and you draw them more than once, like if you draw them when when they have normal hair and then when they have wet hair, remember to draw the hair when it's wet a little bit more, a little bit darker basically. And of course, even if they have I'm gonna clip and mask it. Even if they have straight hair, of course the hair is gonna be even straighter. And if they have wavy hair, it's gonna be a little bit less wavy. Oh, if you come back, I can show you my city. I'm guide of tourism, but my English is medium. Ah, that's nice. Thank you for the offer. I'm sure that your English is more than fine. Today my English is very bad because I am very sleepy. Anyway, so I've drawn like these little bits in the hair like before that give you a bit more detail about the shape. But because it's black on dark blue, it's not very visible. So I'm going to, what you can do here is that you can actually pixel lock it and change the color. So for example, you can fill it with like a lighter color, and then the it will be lighter than the actual color of the hair, and so it will be easier. And in this situation, I'm not gonna draw like too many hair coming out of the main shape because of course it's wet, so the hair tends to stick together more. But like you can draw maybe a couple at the very back, like at the bottom of the shape, basically. Like this. And the trick, I think the most important trick when it's wet, is to give more of a shine when you do the lighting. So for example here, I'm gonna put this on overlay and say that the light is coming from this side. I would do like a big like here as well, like a lot of shiny lighting. And maybe change the color as well because it's a little bit too similar. So you can change the color easily by going into the settings, hue, saturation and brightness, and you can just change it like this. Or you can pixel lock it and change the color and just go like fill again. There you go. And you can either go on overlay or soft light, hard light. I mean, that's a little bit too much. I think I'm gonna go on soft light. And then you can erase a little bit of it. I actually preferred it when it was more bluish, so I think I'm gonna go back to the bluish color. But yeah, so that's pretty much how I would draw wet hair, like this. I hope that was useful. And I think that's all the time I've got, because I need to go and check if my flight is still delayed or if somehow we are able to get on. And yeah, I hope that you guys have had a good time today. Tomorrow we have another session. I can't remember exactly what we're supposed to do tomorrow. Probably something else regarding hair or props, like outfits. But yeah, so I hopefully will see you tomorrow, and let me know in your comments if you have a specific type of hair that it's more difficult for you to draw. And yeah, maybe I'll do a video later on about it as well. Have a good rest of the day, whether it's night or day for you, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye guys!